SportsZone Football Friday.
From the tackles to the touchdowns, we're giving you all the highlights from your favorite Mid-Missouri teams.
ABC 17 SportsZone Football Friday.
Only on ABC 17 News at 10 on KMIZ.
Can't decide what to watch? Sometimes it's better to watch
Nothing.
because nothing is really something.
Weeknights at 10 on Fox 22. You're watching MyZoo TV, part of the networks of Mid-Missouri.
ABC 17 SportsZone Football Friday High School Game of the Week is presented by Harper, Evans, Gilbrenner, and Nettemeyer, and made possible through a partnership between the networks of Mid-Missouri, CPS Athletics, the Columbia Area Career Center, and Jim Butler.
Good evening and welcome to Providence Bowl 2024. We're at Rockbridge High School tonight as the Rockbridge Bruins play host to the Hickman Cupies. The Bruins have won 6 in a row as they cruise into this game with a terrific run going right now as they come in after a big win against Battle last week, 49-12. For the Hickman Cupies, they've won 3 out of their last 4 games, Micah Wright. And for the Hickman Cupies, they need to get back into the win column as Justin Conyers in his first year doing a terrific job of getting things turned around.
That's right, Tex. Conyers has done a great job trying to rebuild this Hickman program, and what better way to win this game for the first time in how many years, Tex? I mean, it's been forever. This
12.
team has 12 years if they're able to win this game on the road in the bitter Providence Bowl rivalry. This Hickman team has not scored a point in this rivalry since 2021. What better time to do it than right here tonight on the road against a very talented Rockbridge team that's undefeated in conference play. But we can see the Bruins playing a lot better than they have in weeks past as they've squeaked away some wins.
The Hickman Cupies in 2012 won their first 7 games. One of those victories was against Rockbridge during the regular season. Then they beat Rockbridge in the playoffs back in 2012. But that's the last time the Cupies have advanced deep into the playoffs. It's the last time they beat Rockbridge, not only once but twice in the same year. But we've got 2 clubs that have become very, very familiar with each other over the years, but the Rockbridge Bruins have dominated, winning the last 12. In fact, they lead this series 19-10, and at one time it was totally flipped. It was something like 10-2.
Yeah, and Coach Conyers is trying to get back to those glory days for Hickman where they own this rivalry, and you just got to think that his team will be fired up tonight. They're usually outmatched in terms of talent and coaching, but I think coaching's a little more even than it's been in quite a while, and we'll see as far as the talent goes, but really these games for Hickman where you feel they're maybe slight underdogs, it's going to come down to defense and discipline. And for Rockbridge, I think discipline's another key as well, as they've had many penalties and turnovers despite their wins.
The Rockbridge Bruins won the coin toss and deferred, and the Hickman Cupies will get the football, and they will be moving from the right to the left when they take the field. But this Hickman ball club finds themselves right now in a spot where they're still looking here in this year that seems to be a year of turnaround, of beating a winning team. Last week they went down to Camdenton and couldn't quite finish the deal as they fell to the Lakers. The Lakers, of course, have a winning record. Everybody else that the Cupies have been able to knock off on the downside when it comes to a record.
Yeah, and that really, when you're building a program like Hickman, it really comes to a point where, you know, in years past, you may not have expected to win any games or only a few. And now this is the process of expecting to win, learning how to win. And the next level of that is expecting to win every single game. That's where they're trying to get. That's where Rockbridge is right now. And they can prove a point tonight if they're able to knock off the Bruins.
Hickman has not beaten Rockbridge since Battle High School was opened.
That's remarkable.
Isn't that something?
Over a decade.
And they're trying to pull all those skeletons out of the closet. And, of course, one of them, too, was they hadn't beaten Jefferson City in a number of years. They got that done a little earlier. But this is going to be a tough challenge because this is a good quality Rockbridge football team that comes in here with a 6-1 record as they have been cruising. As the Cupies will be in the white, the Rockbridge Bruins were wearing very dark green with gold numerals. Cupies trimmed in their traditional purple as we get set for Providence Bowl 2024. Not only is it the Providence Bowl, it's the City Bowl.
Yeah.
The winner of this game will be the city champs. And, of course, the winner of this game will have some momentum as well, as the Rockbridge Bruins have locked up a tie in the CMAC, and because of the team they're tied with, they have a win against Elias. They have clinched the title in the conference. So still a ton to play for Rockbridge as we are set for this kickoff. And it's a low line drive, end over end kick, and it sails into the end zone. And the Hickman Cupies will take over the football at the 20-yard line as we'll bring out the Hickman offense for you. Braden Bursey, the quarterback, a sophomore, 5'9", 170, but he's thrown for 1,873 yards already this year, and he has ran for another 394. He is a dual threat. And his favorite target is Brock Kemp, the 6'7", 235-pound tight end who has caught 46 passes for 749 yards on the season. As the Cupies bring out that offensive unit, Elijah Tatum splits wide to the near side along with the wide receiver, Carter Holliday. Bursey lines up in the pistol formation. His running back is Rajon Rayner. The Cupies stand at 3-4, Rockbridge 6-1. And Bursey keeps it on the option and gets back to the line of scrimmage as the Bruin defense came crashing through to make the stop. As Rockbridge is led defensively by Crew Norton. Norton, 6'1", 220-pound senior at offensive end, has been kind of the bread and butter of that front line, as he and Jeremy Woods have both been very, very difficult to deal with up front. And Braden Ibiwuchi gets a start here tonight as the Bruins rotate a little bit off defensively. Bursey throws, and a target was Holiday, and he missed it. Incomplete, but Holiday was open.
Yeah, Holiday was open on that crossing pattern. Bursey did feel the pressure, though, as the Bruins disguised the little blitz, and they get confused Bursey, and they did get pressure penetrating the Hickman offensive line, but now big 3rd and long for the Cupies.
3rd and 10 from the 20. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Rayner lines up behind the sophomore signal caller. Low snap. Bursey corrects it. Bursey in trouble, and Bursey is going to be sacked at the 11-yard line. And the Rockbridge Bruins brought the heat, the bad snap through the timing of the playoff, and that was all Rockbridge.
Yeah, but you said it, Tex. The bad snap through that whole playoff. Yes, the Bruins did get pressure there, but Bursey just did not have any time at all to look downfield or have anything develop, and a whiffed block didn't save that play. Those are the little things that Hickman can't have if they want to win this football game.
Bookie Kratza drops deep, and here's another problem for the Cupies. A high snap off the fingertips of Bursey and out of the back of the end zone, and it's 2-0 Rockbridge on the safety. And this is exactly what the Hickman Cupies they can't deal with. They are getting themselves into big trouble here.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a disaster for Hickman special teams, and back-to-back bad snaps is the reason why they're in a 2-0 hole despite Rockbridge not even possessing the football yet. And as we talked about Hickman maybe being a different team, being a better team this year, that right there is the exact start that they could not have, Tex.
I will say this, though. The Hickman Cupies have been more resilient this year than we've seen in a number of years. When they have gotten off to a rough start, they have been able to recuperate and get back into the game. And now they are going to have to turn it over to their defense, as Hickman will have the free kick here, and the Bruins are looking and anticipating on getting very good field position. The long snapper for the Cupies is Drew Woodden. It's not his first rodeo. He's been around a little bit, and that's very concerning. But a couple of bad snaps, and the Cupies are down 2-0. And it looks like that the Cupes will kick it off from the 20-yard line on this free kick as they bring out their kicker, Insured 2. And the Bruins send 2 men deep. A couple weeks ago, the Cupies used 3 consecutive onside kicks against the Jeff City Jays to turn that ball game around. Kratza is deep again. And now an onside kick that is muffed. It rolls 10 yards out to about the 30-yard line. The penalty marker goes down. And apparently Hickman has touched the ball before it traveled 10 yards.
Texas was just too much of a slow roller. It didn't quite get to 10 yards. I think it got to 9 yards when they touched it, as the ball's marked on the 29, needed to get to the 30. And that's quite the gamble for Coach Conyers. As you said, they converted on that multiple times last week. And that sure would have turned the momentum around if they were able to recover it, but now you're in a huge hole.
They've picked up the flag.
Whether it's first touching, black ball.
The ball was picked up by Rockbridge first, so the Bruins bring out their offensive unit for the first time with that 2-0 lead. Our referee tonight is Craig David. The umpire's Matt Lucas. The head linesman is Chris Ball. Jeff Reynolds, the line judge, and the back judge is Patrick Remus. Empty backfield for Brady Davidson, who has thrown for 2,272 yards on the year. As Davidson, who's headed to Northern Illinois to play on the collegiate level, a D1 quarterback looking over this Hickman defense, and maybe he's seeing something he wasn't expecting, because he does look like he's got some questions. As Davis drops back to throw, pumps once, going deep, and wide open in the end zone with the catch for the touchdown is Devin Holt. As on a stop and go, Holt slipped right by the corner, Kieran Larkins, and Rockbridge leads Hickman 8-0.
Well, Tex, you saw the pre-snap call there. I think they set up the fake screen wheel, did Brady Davidson, and if that was his call, that's a brilliant one, as they faked out the Hickman defense. Throw was right on the money, right in stride for Holt. Touchdown, Bruins.
As Holt caught it in the near corner. Now the extra point attempt by Matthew Wheeler, as he'll be kicking to the west, and it's up and on the way, and it is all Rockbridge here at the get-go as the Bruins are up 9-0. We'll be back with more of the Providence Bowl 2024 in a moment.
Columbia Public Schools are on a mission, a never-ending quest to be the best school district in the state, and they're well on the way. With the help and support of their generous marketing partners, CPS has contributed over $1.8 million to Missouri State High School Activities Association programs. So how has it paid off? Nearly 40% of the student body in secondary school participate in athletics and activities, and you can be part of the mission too. Visit these websites today for all the details on how you can help CPS and get involved today.
10 seconds, 20 seconds. And the Hickman Cupies have dug themselves a hole here at Rockbridge as the Bruins move the ball 25 yards in 8 seconds, one play, 25-yard touchdown strike. Brady Davidson to Devin Holt, as Davidson now has thrown for 26 touchdowns this season. The extra point was good by Wheeler, and Rockbridge leads Hickman by a score of 9-0. And another kickoff, and the Cupies will let this one sail into the end zone. Take a deep breath and try to restart. That's all you can do at this point.
Yep, that's all they can do. It's just the restart and say, well, we were deep in our own territory, just nightmare start. We got to take a breath. If you're Hickman, Coach Conyers reinforcing that, hey, just take a deep breath, brand new game. We get the ball, let's get a good drive together, one play at a time. You can't think about the plays that put you in this early hole, as we're not even 2 minutes into the game.
Not a positive thing has happened thus far for the Cupies, with a minute and 26 seconds expiring. Bursey takes the snap on the option, pitches the ball to Rayner. Rayner with about a 3-yard pickup around the right end, as Rayner was stopped by the middle linebacker, Quentin Lee, 6'3", 215-pounder, the sophomore, with 63 tackles on the year for Rockbridge.
He's a heck of a player, and it's going to be, looks like a pretty tall task for this Bruin linebacking core in front, with Hickman running the option a couple times to start this game already. It's definitely hard to defend with a talented guy like Bursey.
Bruins go with 4 down linemen. Here's the handoff to Rayner up the middle, out across the 30 to about the 32, 33-yard line. As Rayner was a shoelace away from going long distance. That was a 10-yard gain.
Great patience there by Rayner to just pick his spots and found the hole, burst of speed. They need a big game out of him tonight.
Other linebackers, Andrew Williams and Ben Bamer for the Bruins. Both Bamer and Williams with 37 tackles on the year. 1st and 10 for the Cupies. They give to Rayner again. Rayner dives forward for about a 3-yard gain as Rayner left his feet to avoid being tackled. 2nd and 7. And this is exactly the way the Cupies need to restore some positivity in this first quarter and gain a little momentum.
Yeah, momentum would be huge, and really just putting together positive plays. When you're in an early hole like they are, you just want to put a good drive together, get points on the board, and counter Rockbridge's fast start.
Receiver wide to the left, receiver wide right. Here is the pitch to Holiday, who cuts upfield. Holiday's got a 1st down, and then he's hit at the 46-yard line, but has 1st down yardage. As Holiday took the pitch, it looked like maybe he wanted to do something else with that football, but saw a big gap.
Well, Tex, that was a very unique play, a jet sweep pass, and then a fake option pitch there by Holiday. Very creative stuff from this Hickman offensive coaching staff, as that's a play you rarely see at any level.
Tatum wide to the left, Kemp wide right, wing left. Bursey looking at the 4-man front. Bursey on the option, keeps it, bounces outside, now pitches it back to Rayner, who is knocked out of bounds near the 1st down marker. Cupies throwing all kinds of wrinkles into the playbook.
And that was a risky pitch, to say the least, for Braden Bursey, but a good one that set up what would have been his own 5 or 6 yard run, and they got 4 more yards there to set up 2nd and 1.
That was a gain of 2. Was a pitch to Conyers. Conyers actually got that call, and not Rayner. Cason Conyers, the 6', 205 sophomore. That was just his 7th rush of the year.
Hickman's got to go, 8 on the play clock.
2nd and 1. And this time to Rayner. He's got 1st down yardage, and then is thrown back downfield. And there's going to be some hitting in this game here tonight, to say the least.
There's going to be hitting, and there's going to be plenty of the option. Hickman making that very clear. They had one. Their only run, their first drive, was the option look, and then here, this entire drive so far, outside of a couple Rayner runs, has been a triple option type look.
Cupies now in Rockbridge territory. A bunch to the left. 3 receivers split to the left. On the option, they pitch the ball to Rayner, who dodges a tackler, cuts against the grain inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. He'll pick up 5 to 6 yards on that carry.
How about the misdirection there from Rayner?
Great cutback, wasn't it?
Catching the Bruins off guard. Really like the bursts of speed I've seen from him to start this game.
They're really forcing the Bruin defense to stay honest. 2nd down, 5. And Bursey, nowhere to go. They were waiting for him to keep the football. Nothing but black shirts in there, led again by Quentin Lee and company. He got help as well from Crew Norden. That was a loss of a couple yards on the play.
Yeah, and that's a tough one there. As yes, the option has worked so far, but 2nd and medium, you can't really have a loss of yardage there to hurt yourselves after such a great drive, and it was a tough read for Bursey. I think even if he gave that football up, it would have been a tackle for loss because the Bruins were on it.
Yeah, Hickman didn't get anything done up front. Rockbridge showing blitz. Bursey wants to throw, fires it, and it's intercepted. And hold everything. The play was blowing dead. We didn't hear the whistle. And this is going to be a procedure penalty. It's going to save the interception.
Man, I did not hear the whistle at all there.
I did not either. I just saw the flag.
Yeah. Not even sure they blew it.
That ball, false start, White, repeat the down.
Thought maybe one of the receivers did move early. So a costly penalty for the Cupies, but not so much.
Yeah, really costly for the Bruins since they picked the ball off.
That was a poorly advised pass because that was triple coverage he threw into. It was picked off by Bookie Kratza, who has really elevated his game, the sophomore. Been playing very well. He has he had an interception against Elias. He's got 2 on the season.
He was all over the field against Battle.
Yeah, he was. 3rd down and 12. They put Rayner in motion. Bursey pumps once, now will keep, steps forward, fires it to Rayner in the flat. Rayner is hit after a gain of 2. Finishing the tackle was Alton Grotweil. Grotweil with 8 tackles down the year as he was there, and it's 4th down for Justin Conyers and the Cupies. That was a gain of 4. Hickman dug themselves a hole with a couple of negative plays. Bruins lead it 9-0 on a safety and a 25-yard touchdown strike.
And Hickman looking like they're going for it, or at the very least maybe trying to get a free 5 yards.
I've got to think they'll punt here. I mean, they're at the Rockbridge 42. 4th down and 8. Bursey's going to throw it. He fires it, and it's caught by Camp. A leaping catch for a Hickman 1st down at the 31-yard line. Camp on a crossing pattern had to reach back across his body, and he made a terrific play. That is a 6-yard gain, rather an 11-yard gain for a Hickman 1st down as they convert on 4th down. Hickman's converting on 4th downs 40% of the time.
And Brock Camp, there he is, the first catch of the day. Could it have come at a better time for the Hickman Cupies? A weird play action there, as you wouldn't think the Bruins would expect a run, but maybe that was a little misdirection that threw off their secondary because Brock Camp leaked out free. Easy guy to throw to with this 6'7" frame.
Now a timeout as Hickman's a little discombobulated here on a 1st and 10. We've got a timeout here at Rockbridge. We'll be back with more in a moment.
I didn't think I would be able to leave the nursing facility.
I didn't have money or anywhere to go.
Thanks to Show Me Home, a Money Follows the Person program, I found a path home. They helped me find this apartment and get started again.
I have the help and services I need.
But I also have a place of my own.
If you or someone you know is eligible for or currently receiving Missouri Medicaid and needs help moving out of a nursing facility, call 573-522-1591.
Does cooking feel like a kitchen battle? You need Granite Stone Armor Max, the revolutionary cookware set with 4 durable layers of ultra non-stick. So slick, virtually nothing sticks. No oil or butter needed. You can get the Granite Stone Armor Max set for just 4 easy payments of $39.99. We'll include this razor-sharp knife set and deep steam and fry pan set, yours absolutely free. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free. Order now.
The stage is set.
We're going to have a crowd tonight.
For an unstoppable season.
It's time to hunt.
And it all starts here.
Here come the Tigers. Touchdown, Missouri.
Perfect! Perfect!
Mizzou Live.
To the 15, to the 10, to the pylon.
Pre- and post-game shows every single week. The only one of its kind for Mizzou fans. And there's only one place to get it.
Welcome back to the KZOU Game of the Week. We're at Rockbridge High School where the Bruins lead the Hickman Cupies 9-0. Bruins taking advantage of a safety on a bad snap on a punt on the first series of the game, and then the next play they scored on a 25-yard touchdown strike. Brady Davidson to Holt. Hickman looking at a 1st and 10, wiring together this drive. This pass on a catch and a lateral is successful for about 7 yards as that ball was caught by Holiday and he pitched it wide to Rayner, and Rayner added a couple more yards as the Cupies now look at a 2nd down and a long 3.
I thought that looked like a forward lateral, Tex. It was hard to see since it was on the far side. And the official definitely had a better look than I did, but another creative option type play. Hickman's done quite a bit in this first quarter.
2nd and 10. Couple of running backs in that backfield with Bursey. He'll keep it, and then on the option, pitches it wide to Conyers, and Conyers forced out of bounds after a short gain. So they ran that to the tight side of the field. Well, you get the feeling both these teams have adequate quickness, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And Bruin defense has just had a lot to handle with the triple option and having to worry about Braden Bursey keeping it or pitching it, and then having to worry about receivers not only making a catch, but then them pitching it. So Hickman really putting everything out there for the Bruins to have to defend.
2nd and 2 from about the 22. Play action, the pass is bobbled, and it is incomplete, as it was intended for Kason Conyers, who had someone in his kitchen as soon as the ball arrived, and he couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, and you had to think he just took his eye off the ball there and looked more at the defender, bracing for a hit. That's one that you've got to have, though, if you're Conyers. 3rd and 2 would have been an easy conversion. Bursey made the quick throw, made it on time. That's when you got to come down with, and now it's 4th down.
They lost a yard on that incomplete pass. The ball back out to about the 24-yard line. Bursey takes the snap, and he will keep going right. Bursey stays on his feet and burrows his way down to about the 16-yard line for another Hickman first down, a gain of 7, and Hickman now is 2 of 2 on 4th down conversions.
How about Bursey showing the toughness, breaking tackles, putting his shoulder down? And that's impressive stuff from the young quarterback, only a sophomore, leading this Hickman offense and putting together a phenomenal drive when they needed it.
1st and 10 for the Cupies. And Bursey fakes the handoff, gives to Holiday, looking for a block. Holiday down to about the 11-yard line, a gain of 5. Holiday made a great cut.
He sure did. Turned that into a 5-yard gain when it could have been stopped for only a yard or 2. So the Bruins really were in position, but that's just all the credit that goes to Holiday there, making that jump cut.
Was that Tatum that threw that block out there on the edge?
Yep, sure was.
2nd down, 5. 3:39 to play first quarter, 9-0 Rockbridge. As Bursey will keep. This could be the option. As he pitched the ball late, it goes out of bounds, loose. He pitched to Rayner. That was almost a forward pass. Were they beyond the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, that one was close too, like the one on the opposite sideline.
Not much of a gain on the play.
And that's another risky pitch there. I thought Bursey would have made more ground if he would have kept it himself. Had plenty of space to work with, but just didn't trust it. Thought they could have. He thought Rayner could have had something on the sideline, but the Bruins were right there.
I think they're playing more pitch than they are Bursey sometimes when they get out on the edge.
Yep.
Bursey will give this time to Rayner, who knifes his way inside the 10 and drags the tackler down to about the 7. And it's going to be another 4th down conversion looking at Hickman. 4th down and about 1. They have it roughly at the 7-yard line. Well, maybe back out to the 8. They've got to get it down to, it's about a 2-yard differential.
I'd have to think they'd run the option.
Or you look for that big number 11.
Or Camp would be a great option as well, but I just think the success they've had, Bursey's going to have a keeper here.
Bursey on the option keeps, and he's not going to get it. And this drive has been halted by the Rockbridge defense. Getting penetration for the Bruins, Jeremy Woods. Woods came crashing through. And Rockbridge's defense holds. Isaac Berry, was he in on that play as well?
I think he was, and the ball was punched out. He may have been the one who got a hand on that as well. It wouldn't have mattered since it was a turnover on downs anyway, but great stop for the Bruins, and that just took all the air out of it for the Cupies. Had such a good drive going. And then they did run the option there, but I don't like that where you fake it wide and don't have an option for Bursey to pitch. I thought if they would have run it to the far side of the field and had a better chance to pick up ground, but credit to the Bruin defense.
1st and 10 for Rockbridge from their own 11. They hand the ball off, and dart right up the middle is Derek Young, and he's into the second level, and he's got a blocker with him. As Young angles to the left, Young down to the 20. Young finally caught inside the 10-yard line at about the 5-yard line of the Hickman Koopies. 85-yard run by Derek Young.
Tex, we did not see Derek Young at all last week.
He was not in the game. He was out of the game with a light injury, and he turned it on. They spot the ball at about the 6. Rockbridge has ran 2 offensive plays, and they've covered the field on both of them.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And Hickman just had a drive that was almost 8 minutes, no points. Rockbridge, 1 play, and now they're about to, looks like they're going to go and score again. But how about Young sitting all of last week and then does that?
They give it to Young again, and he weaves his way into the end zone from 6 yards away. And Rockbridge is dialed in tonight offensively. And the Rockbridge Bruins open up a 15-0 lead. And that time it was all Derek Young, as he's fresh tonight, as Young runs it in on a 6-yard scamper. And now the extra point attempt. Holding is Kaysen for Rockbridge. High snap, kicks on the way, and that kick is good, as it was knocked through by the Rockbridge Bruins kicker. And that was DePrima.
Tex, how about Derek Young having the long, 85-yard run, and then not coming out of the game, saying, give me the touchdown. I want to finish off this drive because I'm the one who started it. And the Bruins are up 16-0, and they've run 3 offensive plays. I mean, you can't make it up. That's just phenomenal efficiency, and part of it obviously had to do with the safety. But Hickman, you have that long drive. You have the ball most of the quarter, and then blink of an eye, you're down 16-0. I mean, that's just so deflating for a football team.
2 plays, 89 yards on the drive. They used about 30 seconds.
I had it as 41.
Okay.
Officially. 2 plays. I mean, that's just phenomenal stuff from Derek Young. Whatever the light injury was, I mean, I think it benefited him sitting out because it gave him all the juice to make those 2 runs.
Hickman has been victimized by Rockbridge, and like that run there by Young, there wasn't anything fancy there.
No.
He got into the secondary, and there was nobody around to get to him.
Yeah.
They finally ran him down from behind.
Just defensive breakdowns, really, and you wonder, as pass-heavy as the Rockbridge team is, did them simply running the ball throw off the Hickman defense? I mean, it sure looked like it. But if Derek Young can obviously run like that, this Rockbridge offense is taken to a whole other level. But great stuff by their big boys up front to make way.
Now, Velarde will kick it off. And the Koopies will let it bounce into the end zone, and they'll take over the football at the 20-yard line with just under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Hickman has dominated the clock, but the Rockbridge Bruins are dominating the scoreboard, leading 16-0. And the last thing Hickman wants to do is get into a shootout with this high-powered Rockbridge offense.
Yeah, I mean, and they showed how they can possess the ball. I mean, that last drive was a whole bunch of plays. I lost count myself. And they go almost the length of the field, a 70-plus yard drive. And then just the 4th and 1 option that got blown up.
They were
keeps
2
them
of
with the
3.
goose egg.
2 of 3 on 4th down conversions.
18 plays officially, Tex. On that last Hickman drive, no points. I mean, that's just brutal for the Koopies.
18 plays and 70 yards.
And right at about 8 minutes, a little less than 8 minutes.
Now we have a misfire. And
Dead ball,
Rockbridge
encroachment, defense, still first down.
guilty of the penalty. So it'll be 1st and 5 for the Koopies. Boy, you got to hold your composure here if you're Hickman. Meanwhile, Rockbridge got to stay in their lanes and continue to be aggressive.
And if you're Hickman, you'd think they continue running the option, but when you're down like this, you tend to get pass happy. I think they got to stick with their offensive game plan.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's still early in the game. This pass is caught by Holiday, for a gain of close to first down yardage, and then on the spot they back him up a yard. So it'll be 2nd and 1. Holiday with a catch. He came into this game with 30 catches, 342 yards, 2 touchdowns. The converted quarterback to wide receiver.
And those are going to be the throws that helps Hickman move the ball down the field. I mean, we saw heavy options, all we've seen from them, and then a couple of those medium throws. The timing's been off a little bit, but right there, great job by Bursey.
Conyers on a wing. Rayner behind the quarterback. Conyers in motion. Bursey on the option, gives to Conyers. It was a bad pitch. They scramble for the loose ball. Bruins say they got it. When the pile started accumulating, Hickman covered up the football. Boy, now Bursey was nonchalant on that pitch, and it was not a good play.
That's where the option hurts you. I mean, you never want to lose ground like that, and when the offensive player next to you,
an 11-yard loss.
Yeah, I mean that's as bad as the option can look when you mess it up.
Well,
you lose that much ground. Yep, when you give up the ball, almost lose it. Fortunate they didn't.
Yeah.
But that's when you have 2 offensive players too close together. Tex, it just makes no sense to pitch that ball. You got to keep it, and if you get tackled for no gain, you get tackled for no gain. Just don't lose 11, and that time was not a good job by Braden Bursey.
3rd and 12. Bursey flushed out of the pocket, buys time, throws over the middle, and it is intercepted by Kritza. Kritza returns it for a touchdown. And again, a poor decision by the sophomore quarterback. He forced it to Kemp, and Kritza was able to deflect it in the air and return it 22 yards. And Rockbridge now jets out to a 22-0 lead.
Well, Tex, dangerous throw across his body. Bursey, he somehow missed 6'7" Brock Camp high, and a tip drill. Those secondary guys, they always say tips and overthrows. We got to get those. Bookie Kritza, great job. Ball hawking, did a little tip drill, ran it back, pick 6. We already called his name a couple times. Another interception for the talented Bookie Kritza, the underclassman.
Now a fake conversion as they pitch the ball to the kicker, and running it in from around the left end is Rocco DiPrima. As DiPrima picks up the 2-point conversion, and Rockbridge leads Hickman 24-0. And that was a design 2-point conversion.
And that's just putting a dagger in your rival there. I mean, great play design. Didn't necessarily need it given the score already in this game, but Matt Perkins loves it.
Another interception fired by Bursey. That was his 9th pick that he's thrown this year. We'll be back with more here in the Providence Bowl in a moment.
Start your morning with ABC 17 Storm Track weather.
Wherever you are, whatever your plans, we've got you covered with the ABC 17 Storm Track Future Track.
Detailed hour-by-hour forecast to prepare you for the day.
By noon, you may want that rain gear.
And when sunshine turns to thunderstorms, we keep you ahead of the storm, tracking its path live on TV, always alerting you to the next big change. That's ABC 17 Storm Track weather.
The Rockbridge defense has turned this game into a 24-0 eruption at this point as the Bruins lead Hickman. As Rockbridge has brought the heat, the Cupies have belted here in the first quarter. 7 seconds to play in quarter number 1.
Tex, 3 offensive plays in this game for the Bruins in this quarter. 24 points on the board.
Ready to do the kicking for Rockbridge is Hector Velarde. And he boots a line drive kick, and the Cupies will let it sail into the end zone. And Hickman will set up shop at the 20. The Cupies have really struggled with adversity. When they've run into adversity, it is really spiraled out of control.
And you think back to giving up 90 points, first game of the season, or second game of the season, excuse me. I mean, that's kind of the feel right now, is it's like things just keep spiraling no matter what Hickman does. They just got to find a way to calm down try to put together another good offensive drive that they had a couple drives ago, and you just can't make the mistakes that Bursey made.
You can't turn it over. And it was all set up with mishandling the ball. Now flags fly. This will be a procedure penalty.
Dead ball, false start, Hickman, still first down.
Those are other things you can't have happen if you're Hickman. Turnovers.
Can't get behind the chains.
Bad snaps, can't be behind the chains with penalties. That's something we've honestly seen Rockbridge do about as much this year, as they've kind of been a little sporadic in those departments, but
not
Hickman,
tonight.
Not tonight.
They've
Hickman
been on the money.
-6 in turnovers on the season. That has not been a strong suit of this team, and it's showing it tonight.
Trips to the left, they hand a Raider up the middle, knifes his way into the secondary, and has a first down out across the 32-yard line. As Rayner found a big crease up the middle and a 16-yard gain, and that'll be the final play of the first quarter. We have played one, and after one quarter, it is Rockbridge leading Hickman by a score of 24-0. We'll be back with quarter number 2 on our KZOU Game of the Week, presented by the Networks of Mid-Missouri and Columbia Public Schools in a moment.
At Callaway Collision Center, we do more than just auto body work. And when we do auto body work, we do it right and we treat you right.
Body work, alignments, mechanical repairs, we do it all.
Callaway Collision Center, honest, dependable, and one of the best in the business.
We are Callaway Collision Center, and we want to be your auto body specialist. Give us a call.
Experiencing a personal injury can feel like being caught in a relentless storm. Mounting medical bills, lost wages, and uncertainty. Your financial security is at risk. But there is a lifeline. Harper, Evans, Hillbrunner, and Nedemeyer is committed to securing more than just a big settlement. We will maximize your compensation by negotiating down medical bills and liens so your settlement goes into your pocket. Visit lawmissouri.com to find out how much your case is worth.
Are you tired of seeing money all around the house? Then start saving money with First American Home Warranty. First American covers the systems and appliances you depend on every day. And if we can't repair your covered item, we'll replace it.
I've saved thousands, and that makes me happy.
All plans include a no questions asked money back guarantee and flexible payment options so you can never pay for covered repairs again.
Call 1-800-519-6025. That's 1-800-519-6025.
What does it take to be Mid-Missouri's chief meteorologist? Commitment.
The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is look at the forecast for updates, especially when there's severe weather.
Understanding what's important.
You want to get to your safe place now.
Bringing all of that to the community.
Everything that matters to you also matters to my family. I want to make sure everyone is staying safe.
Tracking storms, the first to alert you. Keeping our community informed. ABC 17's Jessica Hafner is Mid-Missouri's chief meteorologist.
Columbia Hickman has the football as we start the second quarter as they trail Rockbridge by a score of 24-0. As Hickman's setting up the offense at the 32-yard line. As Bursey barks out the signals. Play action, Bursey throws it in the flat. He's got Holiday wide open down the far sideline. Holiday at the 30, sidesteps a tackler and then is caught from behind at the Rockbridge 25. As Holiday got loose on that far sideline, they put him in motion for a 49-yard gain.
That was a great job by Holiday to just kind of leak out nonchalant. Was kind of just hovering around the sideline, and then as Bursey scrambled and did a great job of keeping his poise, he put it to him right in the bucket.
Hand off to Rayner. Rayner weaves his way out to about the 23-yard line. And it'll be 2nd and 7. I still think that Hickman has got to try to control the clock and the tempo of the game, because it'll get really wild if they make mistakes.
And it's just so hard to do that when you're already in a 24-0 hole.
But that's where discipline and patience have to come forward.
Yep, you're exactly right. And you can't get away from your game plan.
Exactly.
Because really it's all self-inflicted with turnovers, bad snaps.
Out of place defensively. Back to throw Bursey. He has some time. Now under pressure, throws underneath, a sliding catch by Holiday. As Carter Holiday hauled that in for a Hickman first down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. A gain of 14.
And I love the confidence from Bursey after throwing the pick. It was a horrible interception that he wants back. How about the poise on the last two throws, both to Holiday? That time sliding in the pocket and buying time and then sliding back, setting his feet, making a tough throw in traffic against that zone coverage. Great job by Holiday to find the soft spot.
Conyers in the slot, and Bursey on the keeper, cuts up field and gets down to near the 5-yard line for a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and goal to go. They're going to spot it back out at the 6.
And now's where it gets tough to run that option, given how packed in tight the defense is.
This is where you got to hold the blocks on the edge.
Yep, exactly. And this is where I'd love them to see Brock Camp.
Will Lever and Cole Spry have to get it done on the edge as tackles, along with the middle of that offensive line.
You look, you got Camp in one-on-one coverage. Throw it up to him.
Now Bursey fumbles the fake handoff and was able to retain the ball but lost big yardage. And you could see Bursey not sure if he was going to give it to the man in motion or keep it, and the indecision cost him 6-yard loss.
Yeah, and that time didn't look like he had the snap cleanly to begin with. I don't know if, like you said, he was questioning whether to fake the handoff. That's just another mishap by this Hickman offense, shooting themselves in the foot.
Gass and Nordno were breathing down his neck. That makes it hard to make decisions. 3rd and goal from about the 11. Bursey wants to throw, looking for the end zone. Bursey fires to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Tried to connect with Conyers, and Kritza might have got a paw on it, sliding across, trying to break it up, and it's 4th down. And now, if you're Hickman down 24-0, I think you got to shoot for the end zone, don't you? Timeout called by the Cupies.
Yeah, they're going to talk it over. I mean, it does do you some good to get points on the board if you trust your kicking game, but I don't think they do. I think you got to go for the end zone.
We'll find out when we return. The Cupies trail the Bruins 24-0 here at Rockbridge.
The stage is set. We're going to have a crowd tonight for an unstoppable season. It's time to hunt. And it all starts here.
Here come the Tigers. Touchdown, Missouri.
Perfect! Mizzou Live.
15 to the 10 to the pylon.
Pre- and post-game shows every single week. The only one of its kind for Mizzou fans. And there's only one place to get it.
Fourth down, goal to go from just inside the 12-yard line. Micah Wright, what do you call here if you're Justin Conyers?
Well, I said it just a second ago. Throw it up to Brock Camp if you can get one-on-one coverage especially. I mean, it's all about your protection here. This is an obvious passing situation. Got to have it in the end zone. I think you got to throw it to your 6'7" tight end.
Unless he's triple or quadruple team. Back to throw Bursey. Bursey in some trouble. Trying to get free, is hit from behind and sacked by Quentin Lee, who makes his 7th tackle for a loss in the year. As Lee snuck from behind and got Bursey, and the Hickman drive stalls again, and again on downs, and again in the red zone.
Yep, once again in the red zone, really close to the exact spot they gave it up on their previous long drive, the drive before the interception. And Brock Camp did run a little corner out there to the far side. Bursey just didn't have time to sit in the pocket and wait. He had to scramble and try to make up his own play. And great pursuit by Lee there to get the sack. But you got to throw that ball up to somebody because it makes no difference if you throw an interception there.
Derek Young flanks the quarterback to the left side. Young now with 460-plus yards on the year rushing. Missing a game last week. Back to throw, Brady. As Cook lofts this one in the air and out of bounds. There was some hand contact with the safety, Elijah Bussey of the Cupies, and the intended receiver of the Bruins, and that was Will Bliss. Rockbridge is amazing. They have 160 young men out for football, and we're seeing different personnel every week. This is week number 8, and we're still seeing guys for the first time.
I mean, that's unheard of.
On the high school level, it really is.
And I mean, maybe some powerhouse schools, you see that across the country, but I mean, that's phenomenal stuff.
Here's the handoff, and with the carry is Draven Seaman. Seaman's a guy that has made 42 catches for 643 yards, and he's ran for 318, and that's the first time he's touched the ball tonight.
Yeah, and when I watch Rockbridge Techs over the years, these past couple of years especially, I always ask myself, where's Draven Seaman on the field? Because when he gets the ball, good things happen. And he's their Swiss Army knife. He's their big play machine. I mean, he can do it all. And even in between the tackles right there, he picked up a couple, but I mean, they just love to use him as much as they can.
Timeout called by the Bruins. It's 3rd down and 7. We'll keep it here. Rockbridge led it at the end of the first quarter, 24-0, taking advantage of a safety and then the free kick and a 25-yard touchdown strike. Then a big run by Derek Young to set up a 6-yard touchdown run from their second touchdown. And then a pick 6 by Critcha. And the Bruins are sitting pretty. Throw on a 2-point conversion. 3rd down and 7. This is the first 3rd down that Rockbridge has faced tonight.
That's right.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, they've only ran like 6 plays. Back to throw is Davidson. He's under pressure. He throws it, and wide open in the middle of the field, making the catch for the Rockbridge Bruins, I believe. With the catch is Devin Holt, who has a touchdown catch. There were defenders all around him, and no one went to the ball.
Yeah, Tex, I was just about to say, a lot of guys just watching. Hickman defensive line did a great job getting penetration, forcing Davidson to throw off his back foot. Really looked like a dangerous throw. Someone should be up making that play. And the Hickman defense just near the ball, but not going to get the ball.
15-yard completion. Davidson drops back to throw. Here's pressure. Throwing it down the far sideline, and he's got a receiver making the catch for the Bruins is Draven Seaman for another big chunk of yardage as they have it down to the Hickman 35-yard line. As Seaman beat the corner, and Rockbridge is on the march. That was a gain of 32.
And right on cue, we mentioned Draven Seaman. They used him just as a H-back running up the middle, and then how about there as a receiver? Just beat the defender right off the snap.
2 nice throws from Brady Davidson under pressure.
Beautiful. Just a perfect pass there in stride once again.
Here comes pressure again. They set up the screen, and this ball is caught. And I believe it was Essner, the tight end, that made the catch. No Young with the catch. Out of the backfield, Derek Young, a gain of 5. Cupie's got penetration there on that wedge on the screen.
Yeah, Jackson Gooch, I think, was the one who made that tackle. A lot of green grass for Young ahead of him. Great job by Gooch to stop that.
2nd down and about 6 for Rockbridge at the Hickman 31. Some motion at Hickman defensive front, but they did not encroach. Empty backfield for Davidson, trips right. Davidson under pressure, fires over the middle, wide open receiver. As it's hauled in, angling to the end zone for the touchdown is Devin Holt, the former Hickman Cupie, as they strike from 31 yards away. And it's 30-0 Rockbridge.
And again, a Hickman secondary that just looked confused and out of sorts. Defensive line got pressure. They brought pressure there. Davidson was off balance, but Holt just leaks wide open on the deep crossing pattern, and the secondary makes a bad angle, and he's in the end zone. And Rockbridge already with a 30 spot on their rival Cupies.
Hickman hasn't scored in 4 years against Rockbridge, as this extra point is through the uprights. And driving this one through for the Bruins was DePrima. As Rocco's doing the kicking here tonight, the place kicking that is. And it's 31-0 Rockbridge. We'll be back with more here in a moment.
Experiencing a personal injury can feel like being caught in a relentless storm. Mounting medical bills, lost wages, and uncertainty. Your financial security is at risk. But there is a lifeline. Harper, Evans, Hillbrenner, and Nedemeyer is committed to securing more than just a big settlement. We will maximize your compensation by negotiating down medical bills and liens so your settlement goes into your pocket. Visit lawmissouri.com to find out how much your case is worth.
1851 Underground Tap and Grill offers historical architecture, great food, and an unforgettable experience.
It's a great place for specialty burgers, and be sure to try the Fire and Ice Chicken.
We love to bring our clients for half-price appetizers.
Great food, great location, great service. What more could you want?
Come see for yourself.
Why we say,
Where good friends,
great food,
and excellent service come together.
Want to throw the ultimate party for this year's Missouri-Arkansas game? Just go to abc17news.com/play for your chance to win a full-service tailgate from Revel XP, the official tailgate provider of Mizzou Athletics.
Know the issues before you vote with the abc17news.com voter guide. Just scan the code on your screen for in-depth coverage of ballot issues and candidates.
It's your voice, your vote 2024.
Make it count with ABC 17 News.
Rockbridge 31, Columbia Hickman nothing, as we're midway through the second quarter here of the Providence Bowl. Set to kick off for the Bruins is Hector Velarde. Deep for the Cupies, Owen Akers and Rajon Rayner. As Velarde hits a low line drive kick, and that ball is fumbled, and Owen Akers finally gets it under control, makes a man miss, gets it out to about the 16-yard line, and he is floored. Getting downfield for Rockbridge to make the tackle was Lauren Mason. As Akers and the Cupies will set up their offense at about the 17-yard line. 9-yard return for Akers. It's going to be interesting stats to have.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the breakdown at halftime. I mean, trying to keep track of time possession myself, I can already tell you Hickman's dominating in that department. No points on the board. And really 2 long drives that have taken up a chunk of time, resulting in no points. And the crazy thing is, if you're Hickman, you don't want to do anything different. You just got to stop shooting yourselves in the foot.
Bursey completes the pass to Camp over the middle on a slant, and Camp fights his way out to about the 23-yard line. Hickman looking at his second down and intermediate yardage. Again, about 6.5 minutes to play here in the first half. We will bring you all the halftime activities here tonight at the intermission. Rockbridge Bruins trying to go into the break with a differential of 35 or more to get that running clock as Bursey throws a pick 6. As that is intercepted, anticipated, the Rockbridge Bruins will buy a penalty as that was picked off. The number of the defender that made the pick is hidden, so we'll try to figure out who it was. But Bursey dropped back, and you could see it coming. And the Rockbridge Bruins lead it now 37-0 on the pick 6, the second pick 6 of the night.
And Tex, I think it was 21 Ben Bamer as he walks, as they have their turnover thrown down
Sportsmanlike
there.
conduct. Rockbridge Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
It's the Bruins posing on their sideline. I believe they call that their turnover thrown. So it was 21, Ben Bamer with the pick six, second pick six of the day for the Bruins. And Tex, you uttered turnover clock, and the Bruins said, we're going to give it to you. 37-0. Second pick six of the game.
DePrima's extra point is good. And it is 38-0 Rockbridge with 6:05 to play here in the first half, as the Bruins have forced the Cupies to turn it over a couple times, forced the safety, forced a short field, had two one-play drives of big yardage, and it's all Rockbridge. We'll be back in a moment.
Columbia Public Schools are on a mission, a never-ending quest to be the best school district in the state, and they're well on the way. With the help and support of their generous marketing partners, CPS has contributed over $1.8 million to Missouri State High School Activities Association programs. So how has it paid off? Nearly 40% of the student body in secondary school participate in athletics and activities, and you can be part of the mission too. Visit these websites today for all the details on how you can help CPS and get involved today.
The Rockbridge Bruins in this rout lead 38-0 with 6:05 to play in the first half. Two pick six in the game, one by Ben Bamer as he returned it about 20 yards. And the other pick six belongs to Kritza with a return of 22 yards after tipping the ball and finding a way to get it under control and return it.
And that was a play where Bursey just did not have the right timing, and really it was a fake handoff screen play. Sometimes you just can't trust your screen to develop, but Bamer read him like a book. You got to give credit to him, but if you're Bursey there, you can't be that predictable and lock in on your receiver the whole time.
Hickman now will send three men deep to return this kickoff, as Velarde will have to kick it from the 25 after the personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct after the touchdown on the pick six by the Rockbridge Bruins. And Velarde kicks this one short, and it checks up and takes a wild bounce and is finally picked up by the Cupies. And they will set up the offense at the 30-yard line as Rayner had trouble fielding that ball. I mean, that right there epitomized the night thus far for Hickman, that kickoff right there.
Yeah, it's just questionable decision to let that ball bounce. I mean, could have easily fielded it in stride and just no sense to wait on it, and could have really turned ugly there because that's a live ball.
Yeah, that's right. Very fortunate. Second guessing your efforts. It gets you in trouble every time. It was a 2-yard return, as it turned out. Rockbridge is kind of like that drunk sailor that's got all kinds of money, and he's got tons of it, and they're making some mistakes of their own, but they have the assets to be able to pay for it.
Yeah, and I always hear it as like a team that's just playing with their food, kind of, oh, and there's a fumble.
And this one is picked up by Bamer. He's racing the other way. I think the play may have been blowing dead.
I didn't hear the whistle, though.
I thought that's what happened was everyone stopped. He was down on the carry as Bamer scooped and scored, but it's coming back. Boy, what a crowd here tonight, huh?
Forward progress was stopped. He's second down. Ball belongs to Hickman.
So if he wasn't down.
Well, they apparently blew the whistle, though. Otherwise, it would have been a fumble.
Yeah.
So it's 2nd and 8.
The crazy thing is that's the second. Well, that one wasn't called back. It was ruled forward progress, but two turnovers that didn't. Two turnovers that appeared to happen got called back. It's an early interception.
Play action. Bursey under pressure. Bursey goes down as Lauren Mason came through and made the sack. Mason with his first sack of the year. He did have a couple of tackles for losses coming into tonight. 5'11", 190-pound sophomore. Matt Perkins told me that he's very high on his young defensive unit.
Yeah, and doesn't necessarily jump out at you with a 5'9", 190-pound D end, but quick move there, beat him on the inside. He's kind of more of a hybrid linebacker type. Tough mismatch, though, with his speed, as you saw there. It's a nice inside move.
3rd down and 14. Bursey looking at a possible blitz. Line picks it up. Bursey steps up, fires, and it's incomplete as he threw behind his target, who was Elijah Tatum. Tatum was covered by Bookie Kritza. And it'll be a punting situation for the Cupies, who have not punted tonight, even though they were attempting to on the 4th play from scrimmage.
That's another crazy part about this game, 38-0. Hickman hasn't punted yet. Obviously, they would have with that safety, like you said, but it's been a weird one tonight so far, Tex.
Now the Bruins trying to use an extra player. And they get him reeled back in. Hickman gets their 11th one on the field. Now another high, lofty snap, and Bursey gets this one away. That checks up and then takes a Hickman roll inside the 45 down to about the 42-yard line of Rockbridge with 4:51 to play here in the first half, with Rockbridge dominating this game. Hickman lost their first 3 games of the year, put together a 3-game winning streak. Let one get away last week down at Camdenton in a game that was tight, and a couple turnovers sealed the fate. That was a 31-yard punt, by the way, by Bursey. And now Hickman reeling again here, as they have not been able to put any points on the board against their rival, the Rockbridge Bruins, here thus far in this first half. Rockbridge with 4 receivers to the right. They put a man in motion. Back to throw, Davidson. Davidson flushed out of the pocket, throws underneath, and that pass is incomplete. Coming back to the football for the Bruins was Bennett Kaysen, who's had 1 catch on the year and almost made that one.
And Draymond Seaman was full steam ahead across the field, running back to help his quarterback out as well. He almost lost his footing on the sideline as he hit the track. Luckily, he kept his ground, though, as just shows the rocket type speed for Draven Seaman. Sometimes he can't even slow himself down.
Seaman wide to the right. In motion is Young. Young gets the handoff, jets up the middle, and is ridden down at midfield. Coming up to make the tackle was Kurian Larkins, the QP safety. An 8-yard gain. As Rockbridge trying to add on to their 38-0 advantage. It's been an interesting, strange night, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. As you mentioned earlier, Rockbridge only having 1 3rd down. I believe this is just their 2nd of the game.
This handoff goes to Seaman. Seaman around the left end, has blockers, caught from behind and pulled to the ground by Quentin Brown, the 6'1", 175-pound junior. As he makes his 40th tackle of the year, but a 25-yard gain by Seaman. But you got to give credit to the Bruins. They were out in front blocking for him.
Yeah, you said it. The receivers blocking downfield. That's what makes a good running game a great running game. And when you have Draven Seaman, it's easy to have a good running game. But what elevates it even more is having receivers block like that downfield. And Garrett Essner's out there as well, big tight end. Offensive lineman getting downfield as well. Great run from Seaman, and poor display of tackling, though, by the Hickman secondary.
Back to throw Davidson. Flushed out of the pocket in traffic. Caught and hit, and down he goes. He was stretching for extra yardage, but they ruled him down near the line of scrimmage, where it'll be 2nd down and 10. That was a dangerous reach for Davidson, but his knees were on the ground.
Yeah, it was dangerous. You always want to, if you do that, try to do it with 2 hands to get the extra yard, but sometimes it's just might not even be worth it. So you risk the turnover.
Crew Norden now out there offensively in a slot. Made his offensive debut last week at Battle. Back to throw Davidson. Here's the screen. It's caught by Esner. And Esner catches a block, and he's down to the 9-yard line before he's upended. And with that lead block out on the edge was Joe Brame for the Bruins.
And such a versatile Rockbridge offense. Although this will be coming back.
I think there might have been a hold there on the edge.
Yeah, that's what the signal was from Craig David, head official.
Something didn't look right in the frizz.
Holding. Rockbridge. Repeat second down.
That'll back the Bruins up to about the 29-yard line. I'll say this, the Rockbridge Bruins have been able to capitalize on the mistakes. They've executed when they've had to, and they have hit the bullseye right after a mistake tonight.
Yep, absolutely, and it's the story of the game. Hickman turning the ball over, making silly mistakes. Rockbridge capitalizing.
Davidson gets a floating snap, flips it out into the flat, and this is Norden angling to the far sideline, and Norden cut down at about the 8-yard line. Crew Norden with his 3rd catch of the year. Like I said, there's so many weapons on this Bruin roster. I mean, they're not too deep. I think they're like 4 or 5 deep in the specialty area.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. 160-plus players. I mean, you got a roster to work with, and just talented players all over the field, especially on offense.
Goal to go, just inside the 10-yard line. First down. Young in the backfield. Davidson fakes the handoff, and his pass is incomplete. Probably the worst pass he threw tonight. He was trying to connect with Garrick Esner, and there is a penalty marker down, some extracurricular activity after the whistle on that last play.
And that was just a tough one. Brady Davidson, so talented, but often those throws that are based off timing can be the hardest. Fake handoff and a quick throw out to your big tight end, just threw it too low. And now looks like this.
I think it'll be a personal foul.
Bruins.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a personal foul.
Personal foul. Rockbridge. 15-yard penalty. The down counts.
So because of the penalty, they lose the 15 yards and the down. That'll back Rockbridge up. 2:14 to play, first half. It's all Bruins. They're up 38-0.
And that, for me, Texas, undoubtedly the weakness of this Bruins team is getting in their own way with penalties. I mean, sometimes it's been turnovers, but really, more often than not, it's been silly missed penalties on both sides of the ball.
What worries you is tonight they've got the bank to pay off for the penalties.
Yeah.
Some night they're not going to have it.
Yeah, and getting late in the season, I mean, you don't want to have those at all, despite what the score may be.
2nd and goal from the 25. Davidson going deep, and that is caught by Esner in traffic for a touchdown. A 25-yard touchdown catch, almost a Hail Mary type pass and Hail Mary type catch as they beat the corner Owen Akers. What a catch by the UNLV 2B Rebel for the touchdown.
Tex, another perfect delivery from your D1 quarterback Brady Davidson for Rockbridge to your D1 tight end UNLV commit Garrett Esner there. And we talked about Brock Camp being that big tight end target. Garrett Esner is just as good of a target. 6'6", 6'7". Did not necessarily high point the football there though, but just a perfect throw. Great catch as he's fallen to the ground.
The Prima's extra point is good, and Rockbridge has extended their lead. They now lead it by a score of 45-0 here with 2:05 to play in the first half. As it has been all Bruins here tonight, and they have made it look easy. What a drive by Rockbridge. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Start your morning with ABC 17 Storm Track weather.
Wherever you are, whatever your plans, we've got you covered with the ABC 17 Storm Track Future Track.
Detailed hour-by-hour forecast to prepare you for the day.
by noon, you may want that rain gear.
And when sunshine turns to thunderstorms, we keep you ahead of the storm, tracking its path live on TV, always alerting you to the next big change. That's ABC 17 Storm Track Weather.
58-yard drive for the Rockbridge Bruins as they score on a Brady Davidson to Garrett Essner touchdown for the score on a second and goal to go from the 25. And the Rockbridge Bruins now lead it by a score of 45-0 here against Hickman. As the Cupies have not scored since 2022 against Rockbridge, and that was just a 7-point performance that night. Or was it 21?
I believe it was 21, Tex.
3 years, or 3 games back.
Yep.
But there was a year there, I think they played twice. Woodchuck. And now Velarde to add, or to kick it off. Low line drive kick. And that'll sail out of bounds, and Hickman will get the ball at the 35-yard line. In 2021, Rockbridge beat Hickman 28-7. In 22, the Bruins won 49-0. In second time in 22, Rockbridge beat Hickman 42-0. And then Rockbridge last year won 47-0. So in 22, they saw each other twice. So it was 21 when Rockbridge allowed Hickman to score.
I believe, if my math's correct, that would have been 166-0 in those last few matchups. And here today, 45 points for the Bruins in the first half. Over 200 points unanswered in this Providence Bowl rivalry by the Bruins.
Hickman Cupies complete the pass for a gain of 4.
Second down, 7 yards to go.
Hickman working with 1:45 here on the clock as it unwinds. Cupies lost earlier this year to Helias 90-21. And up the middle for a gain of about 5. Rayner with the carry. Actually, it was 90-28 was the final score of that Helias game, week 2.
Rockbridge on pace to score 90. Putting up 45 in this first half. Just everything going wrong for Hickman.
Bursey back to throw. Bursey under pressure. The pocket collapses and Bursey goes down. He's got to get it out of there.
Yep. I was
You
just
can't
gonna
take
say
that.
Tex.
You can't take that sack.
Just dancing around too long. Had receivers in the flat. I mean, you can look downfield, but you can't stay locked in down there. And next thing you know, you're getting sacked. You got to go through your progressions quickly, and that's just being a young quarterback.
4th down and 7 for the Cupies. Rockbridge calls a timeout with 57 seconds to play in the half, hoping to get the football here and put more points on the board. We'll be back in a moment.
Stage is set.
We're going to have a crowd tonight.
For an unstoppable season.
It's time to hunt.
And it all starts here.
Here come the Tigers. Touchdown, Missouri.
Perfect! Perfect! Mizzou Live.
To the 15, to the 10, to the pylon.
Pre- and post-game shows every single week. The only one of its kind for Mizzou fans. And there's only one place to get it.
.57 seconds left here in the first half. The Rockbridge Bruins are working over the Hickman Cupies, leading by a score of 45-0. This is the KZOU Game of the Week, presented by the networks of Mid-Missouri and Columbia Public Schools. Michael Wright is at the other microphone as we bring this to you. Our statistician is Larry Wyatt II. Here's another high snap, and that punt is blocked, and it's picked up, and the Rockbridge Bruins will hand it off. And scoring the touchdown, I believe, was Donovan Taylor, who must have blocked the punt. as it was picked up by the Bruins. Riley rolling, and he gave it to Taylor, and Taylor carried it in for the touchdown on the blocked punt. That snap floated back to the Cupie punter in Bursey.
Yeah, that's been waiting to happen, quite frankly, Tex, when you have poor snaps and snaps that take a while to get back there, just floating it in the air. It's tough to get that punt off without pressure. Rockbridge came close a couple times, and it was a bad snap that opened up the game for Hickman getting the safety. But Rockbridge has scored on all three levels.
Here's the snap, and this kick is good by DePrima. And Rockbridge continues to roll as they go up 52-0. No mercy as Donovan Taylor returns the blocked punt for the touchdown. And he got some help again by rolling. But I believe it was Taylor that blocked that kick. We'll be back after this.
Columbia Public Schools are on a mission, a never-ending quest to be the best school district in the state, and they're well on the way. With the help and support of their generous marketing partners, CPS has contributed over $1.8 million to Missouri State High School Activities Association programs. So how has it paid off? Nearly 40% of the student body in secondary school participate in athletics and activities, and you can be part of the mission too. Visit these websites today for all the details on how you can help CPS and get involved today.
Rockbridge 52, Hickman nothing. Still 47 seconds to play in the half. As Rockbridge is now blocked a punt. They have had 2 pick sixes. They've forced a safety, scoring on a 1-yard touchdown strike, or one play, 25-yard touchdown strike. They scored on an 89-yard touchdown. Well, a 6-yard run after a big run prior to. 2 plays, 89 yards. Little resistance with their offense. Velarde ready to kick it off. He boots this one high and end over end. And Aker will field it at about the 5. And it's brought back, and I stand corrected. Returning that ball was Elijah Bussey. As Bussey returned it out to about the 25-yard line. 21-yard return by Bussey. As Hickman brings out the offense. Whole lot of similarities in this game and that Elias game.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, Tex. And that's what Hickman's got to be feeling. And it really came out of nowhere given the way they've been playing the last few weeks.
Yeah, they've been very competitive as Rayner gets the call going left, and he brings it out to the 35-yard line with 30 seconds to play. Coming up to make the stop was Taylor. Rockbridge has just been pinning their ears back and bringing the heat.
1 yard to go.
And again, they give to Rayner, who's got a first down and brings it out to about the 41-yard line for the final play of the first half. As we have reached the midpoint of this one, the Rockbridge Bruins will take a 52-0 lead into their locker room. They led at the end of the first quarter, 24-0. They've done it in different phases of the game. And now with a half in the books, it's been all Rockbridge as the Bruins appear to be on their way to their 7th straight victory. We'll be back with our halftime festivities in a moment. This is the KZOU Game of the Week presented by the networks of Mid-Missouri and Columbia Public Schools.
ABC 17 News is now available on any of these streaming services and devices. ABC 17 News, where the news comes first.
At Jim Butler, we know Jeep drivers give a duck. That's why we give a duck about offering the lowest new Jeep prices. We give a duck about having the biggest Jeep selection for miles. We give a duck about making your Jeep buying experience as excellent as possible. And we'll actually give you a duck to prove it. Start your Jeep ducking adventure online or come see why our new Jeep showroom in Centralia is worth the drive during Jeep Adventure Days. Because
The Jeep Powerhouse. I'm here at Algier Salvage in Millersburg with George Algier. George, what services do you offer here?
Well, we buy scrap cars, we buy aluminum, copper, white goods, any kind of heavy iron, pretty much anything to do with recycling in the way of metals. We handle all of that. Bring your cars to us, or we can go and we can bid on them and come and get them, and we always haul them free.
From Algier Salvage in Millersburg.
Come see us.
We have a lot to cover tonight.
Some huge news.
Breaking news.
They have the road closed off.
A very large scene. What happened here tonight?
Something that we will be keeping an eye on and reporting on all night for you. Keeping a close eye on storms tonight.
Our ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner. Here's what I'm tracking.
Take a look at this video.
We will continue to keep you updated.
We came to South Dakota to get the story.
At AT&T Stadium, Columbia,
Randolph County.
Live in Jefferson City.
This is ABC 17 News at 10.
Back here at Rockbridge High School. Welcome back to the KZOU Game of the Week. I'm Tex Little, alongside is Micah Wright. Micah, we're shaking our heads up here tonight. Hickman has been competitive outside of that Elias game all year, and tonight they have really hurt themselves more than anything else. Rockbridge has been dead on when it comes to taking full advantage.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Rockbridge has played a great game. Give them credit. Hickman's just shooting themselves in the foot every which way, whether that be offense, defense, special teams. And they've given up points in all those phases. And you expect to give them up against the great Bruins offense, but you just don't expect to give away touchdown after touchdown when you're on offense or when you're on special teams. And that's what happened in that first half. Just a strange half. Everything went wrong for the Hickman Cupies, obviously, and it reminds us of that Week 2 game where they gave up 90 points to Elias in a game that didn't even play all 60 minutes. So that's what this feels like. That's reality for Hickman Cupies tonight. But as you said, it's a surprise because not only were they competitive, they're putting together wins. I mean, you look at the CMAC, I mean, it's not like in years past where they're at the bottom. They're fifth and looking respectable.
You know, the thing is, the differential's been so great here tonight that Rockbridge has been able, they literally have been able to play very relaxed and loose and enjoying the moment, and actually maybe taking it to a step too far at times with their celebrating and everything else. You got a block punt that's picked up, and you hand it to the guy that punted it because it's that clear that they're going to score the 6 points.
Yeah.
How often do you see that?
I mean, not exactly the best sportsmanship from the Bruins, but I mean, you know, you kind of get them doing that because when you watch some of their games,
that's how confident they play.
And I mean, call it arrogant too. I mean, you don't want that as a coach. At least I don't think you would. But then you look at a game like against Jeff City early in the season. Matt Perkins didn't take a knee, just refused to take a knee and played the game out and just put up as many points as possible. And there's really no reason to do that, given that it doesn't benefit you in the standings at all. So they've just been a very confident, arrogant team.
The Emerald Regiment here at Rockbridge High School, ready to take the stage.
Emerald Regiment, the field is yours. Give him a hand, folks. We wish you good luck in the competition tomorrow.
Another terrific job by the Emerald Regiment here at Rockbridge High School as we're at the half. It's all Bruins. They lead the Hickman Cupies 52-0. And we'll be back with more of our halftime show in a moment. The Bruin girls, though, are expected to perform, and maybe we'll keep it here for a second or two. So it looks like they're poised to take the field in the east end zone. We'll have a complete rundown of area scores, and we also have a look at Larry Wyatt, the second statistics here at the half when time presents itself for us to present them to you. But right now, we are waiting for the Bruin girls to take the field here for their performance. And we may just take a break and catch that one when we return. This is the KZOU Game of the Week.
I didn't think I would be able to leave the nursing facility. I didn't have money or anywhere to go.
Thanks to Show Me Home, a Money Follows the Person program, I found a path home. They helped me find this apartment and get started again.
I have the help and services I need. I know I'm not alone.
If you or someone you know is eligible for or currently receiving Missouri Medicaid and needs help moving out of a nursing facility, call 573-522-1591.
Do you use Viagra or Cialis? Have you been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 or more a pill for Viagra, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. Stop overpaying for expensive prescriptions. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call now and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for Viagra. Call us anytime, day or night, and start saving big money for the exact same results. Have your credit card ready. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. Call now.
The Bruin girls at the 50-yard line.
Let me back that stuff up. Me and Timberland. So y'all know hip-hoppers. On the microphone. I'm super fresh, that's the stuff I'm on.
There they are, the national champions, Bruin girls.
There are the Bruin girls. It is time to take a look at first half statistics in this football game between Hickman and Rockbridge here at Rockbridge Field. First downs in the first half. Hickman 9, Rockbridge 8 rushes. Hickman rushed the ball 28 times for 40 yards. Rockbridge had 7 rushes for 132. Passing yardage, the Cupies had 99 yards in passing. They were 9 of 15, but they threw 2 interceptions. Total yardage for Hickman in the first half, 139 yards. Meanwhile, the Rockbridge Bruins passed for 157 yards as Brady Davidson was 8 of 10. He threw for 2 touchdowns, and he threw for a total of 289 yards for Rockbridge in the first half. So total yardage first half, Hickman 139, Rockbridge 289. Penalties, Hickman penalized 3 times for 15 yards, Rockbridge 5 times for 45. Fumbles, Hickman's fumbled it twice, lost one of those fumbles. Punts, Hickman's punted 1 time for 32 yards. It's been the only punt in the game. And Hickman has returned 3 kickoffs for an average of 10.6 yards a kickoff. Rockbridge, of course, has not returned a kickoff. Time of possession, Hickman 19 minutes, 26 seconds. Rockbridge 4 minutes and 34 seconds. We knew that was going to be lopsided. Rayner had 14 carries for 74 yards. Bursey 10 carries for a -22. Conyers 2 carries for 10. For the Bruins, Young, 3 carries, 99 yards. Davidson did not run the football. DePrima ran it for 3 yards for the 2-point conversion. Seaman had 2 carries for 30 yards. Receiving, Brock Kemp, 2 catches, 17 yards. Holiday, 4 catches for 78 yards. Rayner, 1 catch for 4 for Columbia Hickman. For Columbia Rockbridge, Holt has 3 catches, 71 yards and 2 touchdowns. Seaman, a catch for 32 yards. And Estner, the tight end, 2 catches for 38 yards. And Taylor, 1 catch for 4 yards. Those are the statistics at the half. Compliments of Larry Wyatt II. At the end of the first quarter, the Rockbridge Bruins led Hickman 24-0, taking advantage of the safety to open up the scoring, and then they scored on a 25-yard touchdown pass. Brady Davidson to Devin Holt, capping a 1-play, 25-yard drive. Extra point by DePrima was good, and it was 9-0 Rockbridge. Then Derek Young scored on a 6-yard touchdown run after ripping off about a 70-yard gain on the first play of the series. Rockbridge moved the ball 89 yards, 2 plays, and then the extra point by DePrima made it 16-0. And then a pick 6. This one was Bookie Kritza with the interception, returning at 22 yards. DePrima added the extra point. It was 24-0 at the end of the first quarter. Then Rockbridge would score on a 31-yard touchdown pass from Davidson to Holt, his second catch for a TD tonight. 6 plays, 85 yards, 1 minute, 50 seconds. Rocco DePrima's extra point made it 31-0. Rockbridge then scored on a pick 6 as Ben Bamer picked off the Bursey pass, returned it 20 yards for the touchdown, and with the extra point, 38-0 Rockbridge. And then Davidson connected on a 25-yard touchdown pass to Garrett Essner in the end zone, capping an 8-play, 59-yard drive, 2 minutes, 46 seconds. DePrima's extra point made it 45-0. And then Donovan Taylor scored on a blocked punt return. As Taylor blocked the punt, it was picked up by Rolling, and he gave it back to Taylor to score. DePrima's extra point made it 52-0. And that's what we watched in the first half, Micah, right?
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it, Tex, is I think about that first half. Hickman's offensive game plan was actually pretty solid, I thought, for the most part. Just
execution.
Mistakes, obviously, the execution, but a couple long drives, and you see time of possession. We were talking pregame of how Hickman could win this game. Possessing the football was a big key. Well, they did that in the first half. The problem is defensive touchdowns left and right because they were turning the ball over. Special teams touchdown as well. The bad snap to start it all, and that set the tone for Hickman, unfortunately, as it's, of course, 52-0. But from an outside perspective, if you'd say 19 minutes, 26 seconds time of possession, which team has that in the first half? You'd think it'd be the Rockbridge Bruins, given the score, but it's the reverse because Rockbridge has scored so quickly and had multiple non-offensive touchdowns that have just piled on points.
Well, you talk about the snap that set up the safety. That snap prior to was a bad snap that got Hickman behind the chains.
That's right. It just killed
their
their
drive.
drive.
Bad snaps, yeah.
And resulted in that last Rockbridge touchdown with the block punt.
No doubt. As we get set for the second half, we're going to run through some scores here when we get a moment. As we're getting updates as we speak. We'll start, though, down at Jeff City, Atkins Stadium. The Battle Spartans have just scored, and they now lead Jefferson City 13-10 in the third quarter. No report from Elias hosting Smith Cotton. Capital City leads at Camdenton 14-7. And Capital City's playing keep away in that ball game.
Yep.
Father Tolton will play Kip out of Kansas City tomorrow. And Hallsville and Blair Oaks, the last score I saw was Blair Oaks up in a lopsided score, but we're going to update that here for you in a moment. Centralia leads Palmyra by a score of 14-6 as that's at the half. Elias leads Smith Cotton now 48-0. Osage 24, Southern Boone 7 as the Eagles just got on the board. Harrisburg leads Fayette 24-14. South Callaway 43, Lynn 0. North Callaway leads Vanfar 28-16. And it's Booneville all over Versailles 49-0. That's in the third quarter. We'll return here at Rockbridge and bring you the second half in a moment on the KZOU Game of the Week, presented by the networks of Mid-Missouri and Columbia Public Schools.
What's up, guys? What I'm about to show you is going to change the way you shave your head forever.
You can shave your head in 90 seconds or less.
With no cuts or nicks. It's 100% waterproof.
It even works in the shower.
Introducing Remington's Balder Boss. With increased flex and 5 dual-track floating head design, get over 60% more head coverage for a faster, closer shave and skin-close results.
No nicks, no scrapes. Fit in the palm of my hand, and the results were amazing.
Shave in the shower or with any foam or gel. With Japanese-grade steel blades, plow through the thickest of hair. Anytime, anywhere. There's even a pop-up trimmer to complete your perfect groom. Now, you can try the Remington Balder Boss in your home for 30 days for just $14.99. Complete with a 5-year limited warranty and 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can also get our ear, nose, and brow trimmer free. Just pay separate processing and handling.
Give it a try. You won't be disappointed.
Order your Balder Boss now.
The stage is set.
We're going to have a crowd tonight.
For an unstoppable season.
It's time to hunt.
And it all starts here.
Here come the Tigers. Touchdown, Missouri. Perfect.
Mizzou Live.
To the 15, to the 10, to the pylon.
Pre- and post-game shows every single week. The only one of its kind for Mizzou fans. And there's only one place to get it.
Get the latest alerts for your location with the ABC 17 Storm Track weather app. You'll be the first to know when severe weather is on the way. Download the free app today.
We're moments away from the second half kickoff as the Rockbridge Bruins lead the Hickman Cupies 52-0. Micah Wright, we will start the second half with a running clock, meaning that the clock will be running with plays going out of bounds, incomplete passes. The only time it'll stop is a timeout or a penalty.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick second half, to say the least. And quite honestly, if you're Hickman, yes, you just want to get points on the board at the very least, right? That's what this coaching staff had to be harping on, just kind of thinking about it play by play. Just do not think about the scoreboard. Don't look at the scoreboard. Just put one good play together after another. But Rockbridge gets the ball to start this second half, and it's going to be who knows what time Hickman gets the ball given the running clock. So not like they have any chance to make it interesting.
Well, if the Bruins have the success they had in the first half, they'll have it pretty quick.
Yeah.
No doubt. Hey, we'd like to thank everybody that's helped make this telecast possible tonight, including our Director Cooper Bryant, Chief Engineer Eric Jones, who's filling in for the sick John Hook. We're going to blame John Hook on anything that goes wrong here tonight. And thanks as well to Curtis Barnes, and special thanks to David Egan, the athletic director for the district. Thanks to the marketing director and Sheila Kosler, and also thanks to Joe Whitman from the Columbia Public Schools Career Center. And thanks to Mike McGinty, the athletic director here at Rockbridge. Our camera operators, Derek Chapdelaine and Lillian Brown, working the cameras tonight for you in this presentation, as it takes that small army to get it all done. And the Hickman Cupies are set to kick it off once they get everything set to start this second half. The Rockbridge Bruins don't expect much of a kick from the Hickman kicker in Shear 2. He's kicking into a little bit of a breeze. And here is a short kick. Seaman circles under it, makes the catch at the 24, and is tripped up at the 38-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Rockbridge there.
That would have been another Rockbridge touchdown, I think, Tex. If 13 for the Cupies wasn't there to make the stop. Touchdown saving tackle there from the QP special teams.
So it's 1st and 10 for Rockbridge at the 39-yard line. Brady Davidson brings out the offense. Last week, Graham McKim took over the offense against Battle when things got out of control. And that was his first appearance as Crew Norton will line up on a wing to the left for Rockbridge. Hickman with a three-man front. They've adjusted their defense just a little bit. Davidson sends receivers to the right and to the left. And back to throw Davidson. He's going deep. And that's going to be incomplete. No flag thrown as the intended receiver, Seaman, slowed down and the D-back ran into him. But the pass incomplete.
Yeah, I like the no call there, though, because that's not a well-thrown ball. Seaman ran a good route, but you can't reward the quarterback for making a bad throw. And a lot of times those underthrown balls, the defender, it's a penalty that's warranted because they don't turn around and look at the football. But that time, that was not pass interference. Glad they didn't make the call.
In motion, Derek Young. Young circles back, takes the handoff, and is wrestled to the ground at the 44-yard line. A gain on the play, about 5. Young ran about 20 yards for those 5 yards. 20 yards for 5, I guess you'd do that. Seaman comes wide to the near side. Receiver wide left, Hickman showing blitz, and the Cupies jump offside. Were they drawn? I don't think so. By the way, Derek Young with just 4 carries tonight, 104 yards.
Offsides. Hickman results in first down.
That's Craig David, our referee. And Cupies, that was one part of their game that they'd cleaned up in the first half, the penalties.
Yeah, and that's more disciplined football, which is something we talked about as a key for them, but unfortunately it just hasn't mattered.
1st and 10 for Rockbridge at their own 49. They give to Young. Young off left tackle. Gouges out 4 more yards. Well, Young had impressive numbers coming in. 63 rushes for 420 yards. He's averaging better than 7 yards a carry, or right at 7. And after what he's turned in thus far tonight, that's going to surge.
Yeah, that average will go way up. And how about that 80-yard run he had early on in this game?
2nd down, 6. Davidson flips a screen pass out of the flat to Esner, the tight end, and they're going to lose a couple yards on the play. Hickman stayed at home and read that. Cupies had good pursuit to the football as Levi Harrell was over there along with Quint Brown, who has made some stops in this game.
Yeah, Quentin Brown did a great job reading that. It's a tough play to defend because Esner was in blocking and he just leaked out like a tight end screen play there. Great job by Brown to make the tackle and read that play.
Hickman making a defensive adjustment as they bring in another back here in this 3rd and long. Check it in was Blake Bell. We expected to see Jay Sean Scott in that secondary defending. The handoff goes to Young, and he's smothered at the line of scrimmage. A lot of 2nd and 3rd effort, but not much gained.
Great job stuffing the run by this Hickman defensive front. And there's been times, Tex, where I've thought this front's played pretty well. Gotten pressure to Davidson. I don't think they've gotten home for a sack. If they have, it was only once, I believe. Davidson's been getting rid of the football. But it's just been their secondary that's been bringing them down. But let's see if they can finally get a stop in this game here, 4th and 7.
Yeah, and the secondary's given up the big play.
Yeah, that's right.
Elijah Dotson has played well up front at times tonight. Davidson ready to pass. Flushed out of the pocket. Pressure continues to come. Davidson throws it deep. It's incomplete. As he threw into double coverage, the intended receiver was Esner, and defending was Brown along with Elijah Bussey.
Great job all around by the Hickman defense. Got their first stop of the game. And it wasn't due to the Bruins not executing. It was due to the Hickman defense. Great job on that drive.
So Rockbridge unsuccessful on the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 for the Cupies.
From their own 48. 1st and 10.
As we have played 5 minutes of this 3rd quarter, and Hickman gets their hands on the ball to answer Micah Wright's question, when will Hickman get the football?
And that's a win. I mean, you got to take the wins, both small and big. That's a small win for Hickman in this tough.
Bursey gives to Rayner, bouncing outside. Rayner dodges a tackler and gets across into Rockbridge territory for a gain of 3. Well, if you're Hickman, you got to come back this second half here and start building for another game. You forget about the scoreboard. You come back and get into this game.
And Rajon Rayner has been by far the best player for Hickman today on offense. I mean, that first half had 75 yards on the ground, 14 carries. They trust him more than anyone else with the football, and we saw a lot of the option type looks, but just Rayner running up and down has been working.
Back to throw Bursey, and that's incomplete as Holiday couldn't catch that pass on the far sideline. Well, next week, Hickman will be at home to entertain Chaminade, and the Rockbridge Bruins. They have a challenge next week against Francis Howell. But Francis Howell aren't the Vikings that they have been in the past. But it's late in the year, and they will be legit. 3rd down and 6. I think Francis Howell might be playing Francis Howell Central tonight. And, of course, Francis Howell Central is a team Hickman's battling to stay out of that 5th place position in the district. And we've got a timeout on the field. Timeout called by the Cupies. 5:16 to play 3rd quarter. 52-0 Rockbridge. Back with more in a moment.
Experiencing a personal injury can feel like being caught in a relentless storm. Mounting medical bills, lost wages, and uncertainty. Your financial security is at risk. But there is a lifeline. Harper, Evans, Hillbrenner, and Nedemeyer is committed to securing more than just a big settlement. We will maximize your compensation by negotiating down medical bills and liens so your settlement goes into your pocket. Visit lawmissouri.com to find out how much your case is worth.
We're Sell My House Fast, and we've been buying unwanted houses for cash, fast, for 25 years. We'll buy this house, and this one, even this one. Not that one. We'll buy this house for cash and this house, but not that one either. If you're relocating, inheriting a home you don't want, if you've got a tenant you really don't want, we'll buy it. If you're behind on taxes and want to avoid foreclosure, going through divorce, or if you just need cash to get out of debt, we will buy your house at a fair cash price, and we'll close fast too. So with us, no real estate agent, which means no commissions, no repairs or cleaning necessary, no appraisals or formal inspections, no open houses, no closing costs, and no long wait to close. Sell My House has been buying unwanted houses since 1999. Call to learn more. We'll buy this house and this house. Okay, not that one. We've got hundreds of Google 5-star reviews because our offers are fair and the process transparent. Call now and we'll connect you with a qualified local buyer.
1-800-219-0560.
Third down at 6 for the Hickman Cupies. Midway through this 3rd quarter, the Cupies trailing the Bruins 52-0. Bursey has Rayner behind him. Receiver spread out. Bursey flushed out of the pocket, races for his life, and is forced out of bounds as the Cupies again have problems converting and some extracurricular pushing and shoving going on the Hickman sideline, the far sideline. But I haven't seen a flag go into the air. Update for you, Jefferson City 13, Battle 13. And that's down at Jeff City. And now it's Capital City 21, Camdenton 7.
About Joe Collier's squad.
Think they're playing keep away and keeping the ball away from that high-powered Laker offense?
Yep, defensive guy, and they've run, I think they're running the veer this season. You don't really see that much.
Rockbridge is going to use a timeout with 4:32 to play in the 3rd. Couple of other updates while we got a moment. Osage 38, Southern Boone 7. South Callaway all over Lynn 43-0, and now it's North Callaway leading Vanfar 36-22. Eldon and California are knotted at 20.
And I just saw a text, not to interrupt you, but California took the lead in that one. 27-20 in the fourth.
I need one of those fancy phones like you got. It gets the latest. Here it's 52-0 in Rockbridge. They led it 24-0 at the end of the first quarter, and they found all different ways to put points on the board tonight.
We need a car move.
As the Rockbridge Bruins called a timeout here, trying to get their defense set after Hickman was lining up for a 3rd down and 6. Check that after that play. It's 4th down and 10, wasn't it? Loss on the play.
Yeah, the chains still have not updated.
They need a phone like you have.
Or it might get moved for you.
You got to use a special battery for that phone?
Yeah, it was funny. As you read that, I just opened Twitter, and right as you said that score, I said, oh, shoot, can give us an update live.
I think your phone's got big ears. 4:32 left here in the third. Camp wide to the left. Bursey sends 2 receivers to the right, now puts Holiday in motion. Bursey takes the snap. Bursey flushed out of the pocket, sidesteps, fires, and it is incomplete. His pass was underthrown. Bursey never had a chance to set his feet as he tried to connect with Carter Holiday, and the Cupies give it up on downs. So no punts here in the third quarter. Both teams going for it on 4th down.
And if you're Hickman, that's Braden Bursey doing what he does, extending plays. Just a touch too low of a throw there. Didn't quite get it to his receiver, who slipped on that one. And really, I think it was Holiday who was the intended receiver, who just slipped. Given the coverage, if he would have just stopped running and came back to Bursey, I think that would have been a big play and an easier completion. But the Bruins caught a break there, and now they've got it in plus territory once again.
They work at the Hickman 48. Davidson back out there. Davidson gives it to Young, and Young gouges out 3 yards, going straight ahead. Matt Perkins, the head coach of the Bruins, in his 3rd year, looking for win number 25 here at Rockbridge. He had a great run at West Plains. He was there as an assistant, and in the last 3 years, he had the Zizzers tearing it up. His defensive coordinator has had a good show here tonight, too, Coach Smith.
7 yards to go for the Bruins.
Keeping the shutout and the rivalry going. It's hard to believe it's been 3 seasons since Hickman scored.
Davidson lofts this one up and throws it away, as he had Seaman in the area and had a couple defenders as well, and he just fired it in out of bounds. Yeah, Ethan Smith is the boss of the defense for Rockbridge. Well, the Bruin defense coming into this game allowing just 18.4 points a game. And they've cleaned that up in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, really, you look at how they played against Camdenton. That was a game that they kind of felt like they were lucky to win, but they held that offense in check.
They give the ball to Seaman around the left end. He spins away from a tackler and is forced out of bounds at about the 31-yard line of Hickman. Boy, Seaman's so explosive. You know, Seaman a year ago, 527 yards in receptions, another 421 in running the ball, and he surpassed that already this year. He's accounted for close to 900 yards on the year, running and catching.
Yeah, he is their Swiss Army knife and can beat you in a whole lot of different ways, can cut you up in a whole lot of different ways. That was a cool jet touch pass that last play.
Norden gets the call going up the middle. Crew Norden, the 6'1", 220-pound senior who carried the ball twice last week, runs this one up the middle. 2nd and 5, a minute 12 to play in the third. Rockbridge on the march. Empty backfield. Hickman brings 6, pass to Seaman, and a nice open field tackle by Jashawn Scott.
Pass complete.
Short gain, if any.
Tackle by number 21.
Great tackle by Scott. That is just a perfect play from a defensive back guarding the screen. Scott read it, slipped under the block, beat his guy to the spot, beat the receiver trying to block him, made a textbook tackle. That's as good as it gets.
Devin Holt splits wide to the right. Hester, the tight end, on the right side. Getting the call of Sanford. Sanford trying to get outside is hemmed in. As he goes down, leading the charge, Jack Busman, the sophomore middle linebacker.
Ball carrier, number 10, for the Bruins. Tackled by number 44, Jack Busman.
And it'll be 4th down and 5 for Rockbridge. And that is the end of the third quarter. No scoring in this third quarter with that running clock. We'll be back with a 4th in a moment. Rockbridge leads Hickman 52-0 here in the Providence Bowl.
If you want to do this, then you need a Ram. And if you want a Ram, then you need to go to Jim Butler, Mid-Missouri's Ram Powerhouse. Jim Butler sells more new Rams than any other dealer in the region, meaning you'll get the biggest selection and the best price on the latest Ram models. Plus a great buying experience from a team that loves Rams as much as you do. So if you want to do this, then you gotta do this. Come see why we're worth the drive during the Ram Power Days event.
Jim Butler is the Ram Powerhouse.
What if you could whiten your teeth by simply brushing your teeth? Now you can with Smile Actives, the teeth whitening breakthrough that safely gets your teeth white and keeps them white every day, just by brushing your teeth. Simply add Smile Actives to any toothpaste and our patented PolyClean technology activates into a powerful microfoam that penetrates into the enamel surface to safely lift and remove stains.
You need a simple way to whiten your teeth. Without strips, without trays, without going to the dentist.
I eat the blueberries, I drink the coffee, and I know that Smile Actives will keep my teeth white every day.
Now you can whiten your teeth with new Smile Actives Pro Whitening Gel every time you brush your teeth. Call or go to smileactives.com and for a limited time get new Pro Whitening Gel for just $24.95. Order in the next 5 minutes and buy one, get one absolutely free. We'll even include free shipping. Call or click now before the special buy one, get one free offer goes away.
Hey family, for our new season of Sherry, we're trying out new entrances. This might be a bit much, but he can stay. Can we get those men back to help me? Let's just keep it simple. This fall, it's a new season. Get ready.
Sherry, weekday mornings at 10 on Fox 22. Help the Assistance League serve women and children in mid-Missouri at almm.org. You're watching MyZoo TV, part of the networks of mid-Missouri.
We move to the 4th quarter here at Rockbridge High School. The Bruins leading the Cupies by a score 52-0. I'm Tex Little alongside Micah Wright. And it's 4th down and 4 for Rockbridge at the Hickman 27. Back to throw Brady Davidson. Looking right. Looking to the end zone. The pass is incomplete as it was broken up. The intended receiver was Devin Holt. And Hickman covered it, and the Cupies stopped the Bruins on downs, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Hickman at their own 26-yard line. Justin Conyers trying to regroup his team, and one of the ways to do that is to outplay Rockbridge here in the second half. And to this point, it's been a draw.
Yep, 2 stops on the 2 Bruin drives offensively. I think the message is just get points on the board. I'm not sure if they talked much about how there's a scoring drought in the rivalry back to 2021, as we've mentioned multiple times. I mean, that you just got to find any win you can get despite this scoreboard, and I think that's got to be it. You got to get a touchdown.
On the move, Bursey on the option, gives to Rayner. Rayner upended after just a short gain of a couple yards. Nice open field hit there by the Rockbridge Bruin safety. Coming up to make that play was Mason Snyder, the 6', 200-pound senior, who is headed to Benedictine to play football.
Well, had a great year. Versatile safety.
Second down, 9. Bursey drops back to throw, in some trouble, and down he goes, and it was Crew Norton with the sack.
Number 7, Crew Norton on the sack.
Bursey has been slow to get the ball out tonight, and that has hurt. And Bursey is slow to get up.
Yeah, Norton really took it to him there.
Yeah, hit him blind side too, yeah.
Norton, not a small guy at 6'1", 220. So you hope Bursey's all right. Shaking up there.
Well, and who do you move in the quarterback spot if you're Justin Conyers if he isn't all right? They'll have a timeout. Hickman will call a timeout. Looking at a third down and about 17 when we return. 10 minutes to play. We'll be back with more in a moment.
The stage is set.
We're going to have a crowd tonight.
For an unstoppable season.
It's time to hunt.
And it all starts here.
Here come the Tigers. Touchdown, Missouri.
Perfect.
Mizzou Live.
To the 15, to the 10, to the pylon.
Pre- and post-game shows every single week. The only one of its kind for Mizzou fans. And there's only one place to get it.
Rockbridge 52. Hickman nothing. 10 minutes to play in this ball game. The Providence Bowl, Bruins trying to make it 13 in a row against the Hickman Cupies. The last win 12 years ago, a playoff victory. It was for the district semifinals. And an intercepted pass ended that game in overtime.
That one was definitely a
At
heartbreaker for Rockbridge, and obviously a huge win when it happened. Who would have thought for Hickman that it'd be the last win come 12, 13 years later?
The following week, Hickman lost at Francis Howell. Third down and 17. Bursey was okay. He takes the snap, and that is Holiday. That is not Bursey. As Holiday tried to get outside, and it's fourth down. So Bursey is not in there. And is this him coming back onto the field to punt? Because Bursey not only is a quarterback, he's your punter, and he is back on the field. They may have had to take him out because play was stopped because of that injury.
Yeah, and that time there, it looked like it was a designed rollout, just trying to give Holiday extra help to buy some time, given their struggling offensive line. But Rockbridge just all over it, pressure once again.
Bursey gets the snap and another blocked punt, and the Cupies will cover it up as the Bruins got through again and blocked that punt. Second blocked punt of the night. And Rockbridge has the short field here with 9:03 to play in this one.
And I wondered, I didn't see who got a hand on it.
I did not either. I almost wonder if it wasn't
hit a Hickman.
Where Bursey didn't get into it. And
that's what I thought, is that it may have
hit one of his blockers.
His teammate in the shoulder pads or helmet. Just a weird way that bounced. But again, I think it was thrown off by more snap and having to rush it.
Now in at quarterback is Graham McKim. McKim hands it off round the left end for the Bruins. With the carry is Jackson Truitt. Truitt with his first varsity carry. And he picks up 9 yards, just shy of the first down, as the JV team now looks like has taken over here for Rockbridge. Sanford splits wide to the near side, along with Bennett Kaysen. They give the ball to Truitt. And Truitt's got a first down inside the 5-yard line.
Number 6, carrying the ball for the Bruins.
Truitt with 2 carries. Will they give it to him a third straight time?
Why not? Looked good so far.
Graham McKim, a 6 foot, 175-pound sophomore quarterback, is 2 of 3 passing for 15 yards on the year. That was all against Battle last week. Kim Gives this time to Sanford. Sanford stopped at about the 2-yard line.
Micah Sanford, number 10.
Sanford with his 9th rush of the year. He does have a touchdown and a catch. Actually, a touchdown reception. He does not have one running the ball. Rockbridge trying to capitalize on the block punt with a short field. Twin receivers to the right. McKim takes the snap, and Sanford is in for the touchdown, but a penalty marker is down.
Chop block.
Micah Sanford.
Oh,
or maybe
I think it was a
after
personal foul on Hickman.
I wondered.
I think they hit the quarterback. Maybe.
I saw a Hickman lineman down. I'm interested.
Here we go. Let's find out. Here comes Craig David.
I thought maybe the way he fell, it could have been a chop block or something.
His mic has gone south. Micah Sanford's touchdown's going to stand. 31-yard drive. That makes it a 58-0 Rockbridge lead. I didn't expect to see that lopsided of a score coming here tonight.
Not at all, Tex. I mean, we've said that time and time again. So now the Bruins are looking to put 60 up on the board.
McKim takes the snap, wants to throw, fires it. It's incomplete. Hickman defended that 2-point conversion, as Bennett Kaysen was the intended receiver. Defending was Kieran Larkins for the Cupies and company. So the 2-point conversion, no good. But touchdown comes with 6:47 to play in the 4th. We'll be back with more in a moment.
I'm ABC 17's Megan Drakis. When you walk to end Alzheimer's, you're walking for a different future, families, and treatments. Join ABC 17 for Columbia's Walk to End Alzheimer's on Saturday, November 2nd at Stankowski Field on Mizzou's campus. With the dollars raised, you'll help the Alzheimer's Association support families and critical research for treatment and prevention. To register or donate, scan the code or visit alz.org/ComoWalk.
At Jim Butler, we know Jeep drivers give a duck. That's why we give a duck about offering the lowest new Jeep prices. We give a duck about having the biggest Jeep selection for miles. We give a duck about making your Jeep buying experience as excellent as possible. And we'll actually give you a duck to prove it. Start your Jeep ducking adventure online or come see why our new Jeep showroom in Centralia is worth the drive during Jeep Adventure Days. Because
Jim Butler is the Jeep powerhouse.
Experiencing a personal injury can feel like being caught in a relentless storm. Mounting medical bills, lost wages, and uncertainty. Your financial security is at risk. But there is a lifeline. Harper, Evans, Hillbrenner, and Nedemeyer is committed to securing more than just a big settlement. We will maximize your compensation by negotiating down medical bills and liens so your settlement goes into your pocket. Visit lawmissouri.com to find out how much your case is worth.
Rockbridge 58, Hickman nothing. 6:46 to play last year. Rockbridge beat Hickman 47-0. They've topped that, but they still have to defend for 6:46 to get the shutout. Ready to kick it off for the Rockbridge Bruins is Hector Velarde. He's been a busy kicker. Velarde with those bright green shoes kicks an end-over-end kick deep, and that is fielded by Johnson Marcus. Marcus trying to get outside, comes to the near sideline and is hit on the boundary as Johnson brought it back to about the 27, 28-yard line. 18-yard return. Justin Conyers told me 1st of August that he had 80 young men out playing football for Hickman, and that was an increase of about 20 players from the year before.
And that was a great sign for this program, wasn't it? I mean,
oh yeah,
buying into the new coach who's had success everywhere he's been, from Battle to Hallsville.
And the former QP himself.
Yeah, looking to turn around the program that he was a part of.
Bursey hands it off. Rayner bounces outside down the near sideline. Rayner forced out of bounds at about the 45. And he was a couple steps away from going long distance.
He's nearing in on 100 yards, I believe, too. So he's had quite the night. Really the only positive for the Hickman offense statistically has been Rajon Rayner.
Holiday's made some catches, but it hasn't been enough, has it? Clock continues to unwind.
Yep, and he's at
Holiday with a catch in the far sideline, looking for some running room, and he's forced out of bounds after a gain of 5. Rajon Rayner now over 100 yards on the evening. Hickman shuffling in some fresh numbers as well here late in this game. Padberg Barrett is checked into the game for the Cupies.
Second down, 6 yards to go.
Tatum wide near side. Bursey fires in the flat. It's caught by Camp, who's got a blocker or two in front of him. Camp inside the 35 and down at about the 33-yard line. Brock Kemp, who came into this game with 46 catches, just made his 3rd catch of the night, I believe. And it's 1st and 10 for Hickman, trying to avoid the shutout. This QP team has not been shut out this year. A bunch to the right, 4 receivers right. They give to Rayner, knifing his way up the middle. Rayner down to about the 25-yard line with 4 minutes to play in the game. A gain on that run of 8 yards.
Rajon Rayner, the ball carrier, tackled by number 3.
Rockbridge with a lot of fresh jerseys out there on the defensive side. Battle is no longer undefeated. The Battle Spartans beat Jefferson City tonight down at Atkins Stadium 33-13. Congratulations to the Spartans as they get their first win of the year. Burser wants to throw deep. It's up for grabs. Throws into double coverage. Pass incomplete, but a penalty marker flies.
Incomplete.
And Bruin defender shaken up there. Tough collision as multiple defenders and the receiver, Brock Camp, went up to make that catch.
There's a flag now. Well, the flag was thrown near the site of the intended catch. It's going against Rockbridge. It is pass interference. With 3:25 to play, the Hickman Cupies now looking at a 1st and 10 from about the 17. But Hickman's been inside the 10 tonight and haven't been able to punch it in.
Yep, and they've got to be thinking about those previous mistakes, and this has been their kryptonite tonight as they've driven the ball pretty well throughout this game, had some good drives. Just self-inflicted wounds and not being able to execute when they need to most.
Crew Norton checks back in defensively. Rayner darts up the middle inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line, where Rayner was finally brought down by Matthew Smith. It'll be 2nd down and 2 with 3:09 to play. 58-0 Rockbridge. They led it at the intermission, 52-0. Bursey gives to Rayner. Touchdown, Hickman. As the Cupies ran it in, Rayner ran it in from 4 yards away. Rayner with that touchdown run, his 3rd of the year. And the Hickman Cupies have put points on the board against Rockbridge.
Hickman on the board for the first time in this rivalry since 2021. Hard to believe. But that stuff matters to Hickman. I mean, you know the game's out of reach. You got to ignore the scoreboard. Rockbridge gets a touchdown to make it 58-0, so they're winning the second half 6-0. But Hickman answers to tie the second half score 6-6.
Snaps down, extra points on the way from the kick at 2, and it's good. As 2 drives it through, and it's a 58-7 ball game. As the Cupid is able to salvage a touchdown here late in this contest. We have a couple finals for you. Again, Battle beat Jefferson City tonight, 33-13, and now Capital City taking it to Camden. It's 28-7 with 3 minutes to play in the game. As the newcomer in the league is going to suffer their 3rd loss of the year in the conference. But the Camden Lakers have made a statement in this league. So the Hickman Cupies with that drive, they score on the Rajon Rayner touchdown run of 4 yards, capping the drive as the Cupies were able to mix it up. Take advantage of the moment, and it's 58-7. With 2:53 left to play in the game.
Tex with the score, and this one starting out 58-0. That means the Bruins had scored 224 points in this rivalry without Hickman scoring. Yeah, unanswered points. Hickman finally said, that's enough. We're going to put that to an end.
Here's an end and over end kick by 2. Retreating is Seaman. He fields it at the 10. Seaman up the middle, and he's finally brought down at about the 38-yard line with the open field tackle for Hickman was Remus, Jalen Remus with the tackle. Return at 27 yards. If Remus doesn't make that tackle, that's 6 for Rockbridge.
Yeah, Tex, that's the second time Remus has brought down Draven Seaman as kind of a shoestring tackle with plenty of green grass in front of him. So Remus saving more potential Bruin touchdowns, as I thought at least one of those 2 returns could have gone the distance. That one sure looked like it could have as well.
McKim at the controls, takes the snap under pressure, fires, it's incomplete as Quentin Brown almost had a pick 6.
McKim's pass is incomplete.
But Rockbridge now opening up the playbook for the sophomore signal caller, Graham McKim. And you got to start, if you are Matt Perkins, you got to start thinking about next year.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I mean, that's why Tex, it honestly kind of made me mad when they weren't going to their backups earlier in the season.
The handoff went to Truitt, and Truitt is brought down as the Cupies were able to hem him in. Making the tackle was Jay Sean Scott. Well, one of the things that I think is going to pay down the road for Justin Conyers is this platoon system. Is he is very selectively used players to go both ways. It's been minimal.
Yeah.
And that is going to that's going to bring more athletes onto the field. You're going to be fresher later in the game, and you're going to develop defensive players and offensive players.
And it's all about versatility, too.
Play action and keeping the ball down the near sideline, and finally brought down as extracurricular activity now breaks out. And here we go. As the coaches get them under control.
Tex, looked like someone shoved an official too.
It went back and forth there really quick as the flags fly and the officials sort it out. I thought carrying the ball for Rockbridge was McKim. As they sort this out, what you fear here if you're a coach is somebody
next week.
Yes, not being eligible to play next week. I mean, this has been decided.
Yeah, game decided, just no time left. And I mean, it's frustration from Hickman, and a part of it's the rivalry. I mean, a lot of these guys have competed against each other for years. There's just no excuse for any of that.
Personal foul Hickman, personal foul Rockbridge. And somebody's been ejected, but I'm not sure who. I'm not sure who, but there has been an ejection.
And does that mean the first half of next week that the player has to miss? Is that right?
I think they have to miss
the whole game, actually.
Yeah, actually, I think the whole game.
It's not like college where if it's
mid-half or whatever. Yeah.
So that, I mean, that is just
And I think
uncalled
watching the reaction of Matt Perkins, it's a Bruin that's been ejected.
Yeah, coaching staff is beside themselves, and
I'm not quite sure who it was, but I thought, and I'm not sure who's wearing number 2 for the Bruins right now other than Brady Davidson, but that was not Brady Davidson on the field at that situation. But there's a second number 2 out there for the Bruins
still not
that
sure
I thought got to carry on that around this end.
Still not sure who they threw out.
No, I'm not either.
But given the way the coaching staff reacted,
it's a Bruin.
It's someone that they're going to need next week.
It is, well, really irrelevant. 3rd down and 10, a half a minute to play in the game, and you would think the Bruins would take a knee here and stay out of trouble. Brady Davidson back out there at the quarterback spot. Or, no, that's McKim. McKim sets up the screen, completes it to Truex. Truex looking for a block. Truex cuts against the grain. Truex on his way to the 20, to the 10, and tackled at about the 3-yard line from behind. So he was ran down by Jay Sean Scott. It was a sideline screen. And the Rockbridge Bruins are not going to get another playoff as this game has come to a close. As we have a final here at Rockbridge, and it is all Bruins tonight. The Rockbridge Bruins have won 7 in a row. They stand at 7-1. They beat crosstown rival Hickman. They capture the city trophy, if there is one, and they go perfect through the CMAC on the year as they have a perfect run through the conference. As Rockbridge wins it by a final score of 58-7. Thanks to all those that made it possible tonight, including Micah Wright, also to Larry Wyatt. Thanks to our director, Cooper Bryant, and our engineer tonight taking care of things. Here was Eric Jones filling in for John Hook. Thanks to Curtis Farnes, the GM, and the whole staff. I'm Tex Little. The final, Rockbridge 58, Hickman 7. We'll be at battle next week for the Trojans and the Spartans. We'll see you then.
Thanks for watching ABC 17 Sports Zone Football Friday High School Game of the Week, presented by Harper, Evans, Gilbrenner, and Nettemeyer, and made possible through a partnership between the networks of Mid-Missouri, CPS Athletics, the Columbia Area Career Center, and Jim